I went to the Krabby Quilter and all I got was crabs. Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. We have come to the end of November and we are starting December of 2023. Hard to believe that this year is almost over. We just have December to get through and then we're on to 2024. Feels like just yesterday we started 2023, but here we are. Enough of that. Let's digress on that and focus in on everything that I accomplished during the month of November. And as many of you know, I spent the month of November here at Becca's house, and it has been a jam-packed month full of lots of activities, but also a lot of project completions that I'm super excited to share with you. Starting off last month, you saw me finish out Margot the Boxer, the legit kit, and I wanted to bring it with me, so I had it shipped here to Becca's so that way I could work on the long arm and get Margot the Boxer all long-armed and beautiful, but unfortunately I hit some snags along the way. It wouldn't be an Ian project unless there was some kind of difficulty with it, and unfortunately there were some pretty difficult obstacles that came about as I started to quilt it. I wanted to quilt Margot with straight line quilting because I really want Margot to steal the show and be the focus of the quilt. However, as I started to quilt straight line quilting, it was a little more difficult than I thought. There was also some kind of problem with the thread I chose. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem to want to work with me as I was starting to quilt the quilt. It was breaking every few lines and honestly was becoming quite the hassle. Unfortunately, I'd gotten so far into the project that I just decided to stick it out and I'll just bury threads and everything will be fine. So once I had gotten the first section of quilting completed and I was advancing the quilt, I saw over the top of the rollers that the backside of the quilt was not in good shape. In fact, it was a bird's nest. There were loops, there were tension issues, there was bird's nest, there was everything. And unfortunately, I knew if I wanted to enter this quilt in shows, I would have to unquilt everything that I had quilted. And honestly, I was almost halfway through. That was a pretty hard discovery to make and a pretty hard realization that I needed to start over. So even though I was about halfway through the quilt, I knew I needed to unquilt everything that I had quilted, and so it began. Over the course of several nights, I sat and worked on ripping the stitches out and undoing all the quilting that had been done, and I'm very thankful. I got a shout out to Mary. Mary has been absolutely wonderful, and she saw how frustrated I was with the project and offered to finish up the rest of it. I had gotten a large majority of it, but there was a couple of inches left to work on, and well, more than a couple to be honest, but she took it and finished it out for me. So Mary, thank you so much for being such a beautiful human, and thank you for helping me unquilt Margot. Unfortunately, I'm running out of time, so I won't be able to finish Margot while I'm here, but I will take it back to my quilter, and I am going to try and quilt it myself because I want to be able to say that I completed that quilt from start to end all by myself. So look for Margot in the future. Hopefully it will get all straightened out and I'll be able to quilt it and we'll have a beautiful quilt in the near future. Also in November, I got to take part in the Cotton Cuts Puzzle Mystery Quilt reveal for Village Green. I have a video that I put up that kind of tried to guess what Village Green would look like, and dang, I came this close to solving it. I thought I had it for sure this time, but maybe next time. But Becca and I both got to show off our Village Green, mine of course in Aster, and it was so much fun getting to hang out with Kim and all the other Puzzle Mystery Quilt ambassadors, and it's the first time that I got to do the reveal with another quilty friend who does the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, and I gotta say, it was just a blast getting to hang out with Becca and show off that quilt to everyone. So if you haven't already checked out the big reveal, make sure to head over to the Cotton Cuts social media. They posted it just about everywhere, so make sure to go check it out and watch as Becca and I reveal our quilts. Now, a project I feel very accomplished about would be working on some scrap Halloween fabric to turn into quilts. I have a wonderful friend here on YouTube who sent me a box of scrap Halloween fabric, and it was so much fun to open up that box, dig inside, and see all the wonderful Halloween prints that they put into the box for me. They were big enough that I could get two 9.5 inch squares. They finish at 9 inches. 9.5 inch squares out of them. So I put them together, simple rows, simple blocks, nothing too crazy. I just wanted something simple and easy, and I was able to finish both quilts in one night. So I now have two Halloween quilt tops that are ready to go to the long armor and start getting them ready for next year's Halloween, I guess. I'm super excited to have them though, and can't wait to finish them. I did quilt one of them myself here at Becca's, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish it up before I head back home. So again, thank you to that wonderful friend here on YouTube for sending me that scrap fabric. I have definitely put it to good use and can't wait to see where these quilts end up. I don't know that I'll be keeping them myself, but I'm super excited because I have some friends who really love Halloween and they really love quilts, and I have a feeling they may end up with it. Another project that I've been working on is a 4-patch challenge that Becca challenged me to. We worked on it on one of her live streams. I'll make sure to link it down in the description below and up in the iCards. I think it's on this side, up in the iCards as well. We worked on this 4-patch challenge. She kind of wanted to re-challenge me because in the past she had asked me to take part in a charm pack challenge. And my charm pack was a super charm pack because I accidentally got 10-inch squares instead of the 5-inch. Hey, they were both labeled as charm packs, so what was I supposed to do? Anyways, she wanted to kind of do a redo of that challenge, and so we ended up doing that on her live stream, and I just sat and cut up I'm getting so tongue-tied. I sat and worked and put them together and made 4 patches out of those charm pack squares. It was a lot of fun working on that, and I have turned them into a quilt top. In fact, I'm going to show it to you right now. Many of you have already seen it, but I love what I have done with this quilt, and it is not finished yet. Obviously, there still needs to be some more added to it, and I can't even hold it up straight. There we go. So there we go. This is what it's looking like so far, and I cannot wait to finish it out. It is square at the moment, and I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do, but I had a little bit of a problem because Becca was kind enough to let me use some of her fabric to put this together, but unfortunately she didn't have enough of this seed stitch Tula Pink fabric, which is the kind of sashing in between all of these. She didn't have enough fabric. I'm just short just a little bit, so I've had to reach out and see if I can find some more, because of course it's an out of print. I did get it located, and somebody was very kind to let me know that I have some headed my way. So I can't wait to get that fabric in, finish it out, and put a border on it, and this quilt top will be complete, ready to go to the quilter. So that's almost a finish. Can you count that? I think we can. We'll count it as an almost finished because I'm pretty sure early December it will definitely be finished. And speaking of finish, I did finish another quilt top while I was here, although this one is much smaller than any other project that I was working on. If you remember back in October, I ordered the Fat Quarter Shop's mystery Halloween box, and one of the projects inside was, I don't know if it was a table runner or a wall hanging, or you could probably use it for either or probably more. But I did finish this Boo little mini project that was included in the box, and yeah, it looks pretty cute. I cannot wait to get it quilted and then put the binding on it and then use it hopefully next year. I think I'm going to make a wall hanging out of it, but I'm not 100% sure yet, mostly because I don't really have a table other than the one that I sew on at my home. So probably will become a wall hanging, but that will be determined later on in the future. And yeah, so another quilt top done. But again, does this count because it's smaller? It does. I'm going to say it does. So was able to finish another project here. Now, a project that we finished together was the Cozy Posy triangle quilt sew along that I had here on my YouTube channel on Sundays. I really did enjoy getting to spend time with y'all and put together our quilts. If you didn't take part, no worries, no problem. It's been a busy month and I completely understand, but a couple of y'all out there have already sent me pictures of your Cozy Posy triangle quilts. And please, if you'd like to be featured in a future video, make sure to send photos to me as well. I would love to feature your Cozy Posy triangle quilt in a future vlog. But I gotta say, mine is pretty bright. I finished it up and goodness gracious, I feel like I need sunglasses to look at that quilt because it is so bright and it's a lot of chaos. Even for me, it is a bit chaotic and there's no place for your eye to rest, but I think that's what kind of makes it special is you're just constantly moving. And I think I have some pretty good names for what I'm gonna call this quilt whenever it's time to put the label on. I'm so glad we had this time together to work on these quilts together. It was a lot of fun, and hopefully now you have a quilt top that is ready to go to the quilter or for you to quilt yourself and be ready to be given as a gift this holiday season. Thanksgiving was also this month, and I got to enjoy Thanksgiving here with Becca and her family. It was a very full house, full of love, laughter, and lots of talking. And of course, food. It was delicious, and I'm so thankful that Becca let me join in on her Thanksgiving Day feast and socializing and all that. It was a lot of fun. We also got to do some Black Friday and Small Business Saturday shopping. It was Mary, myself, and Becca. We all went out to several quilt shops across Virginia and Maryland and had a lot of fun shopping until we dropped. During the course of Friday and Saturday, we visited the Quilter Studio in Fairfax, Virginia, the Scrappy Apple in Winchester, Virginia, Patchworks Plus in Dayton, Virginia, So Classic Fabrics in Harrisonburg, Virginia, Material Girl Quilt Boutique in La Plata, Maryland, the Krabby Quilter in Annapolis, Maryland, Three Little Birds Sewing Company in Hayesville, Maryland, and finally, we wrapped it back up at the Quilter Studio in Fairfax. I got to shout out Kelly from the Scrappy Apple. It was such a pleasure to meet her. We had such a great time in her store, and we ended up finding out that she doesn't typically open on Black Friday. She says she doesn't open because there's usually not anybody that comes into her store. However, somebody was standing in front of her door earlier in the day while she was in the back and called her saying, "Hey, are you open today?" And she said, "Sure, why not?" So she opened for that person and ended up staying open, which was such the treat for all of us who were checking out her store. It was a lot of fun. She is a hoot. So Kelly, shout out to you. Thank you so much for being open. And she gave us some really great deals. It was a blast getting to meet her and shop in her store. Now, the three of us also went to the Krabby Quilter and we ran into some YouTube friends who were shopping in the store and work at the store as well. Brenda and Diana, they were a treat to get to meet and talk to, and I really enjoyed my time at the Krabby Quilter. So thank you guys so much for hanging out and saying hello and taking photos. It feels weird that people want to take photos with me. I don't see myself as that big of a name, but it was definitely very cool and made me feel very special that people wanted to take photo with me. So thank you guys so much. And yeah, it was a lot of fun checking out the store and seeing what all they had to offer. So as you can see, it was a very jam-packed full November. Lots going on, lots of projects finished, lots of new locations that I got to check out, lots of just everything, and it was so much fun, and I'm so thankful that this November has been as busy and fun-filled as it has been. Not so fun, though, was falling down the stairs. As many of you know, because you visit my live streams on Sundays, you know that I fell down the stairs into the basement, and unfortunately, I did something to my tailbone. I don't know exactly what I did because I can't tell if I bruised it, cracked it, or broke it, but either way, it doesn't really matter because no matter what you do to your tailbone, the only solution is time for it to heal. I did talk to my doctor. Many of you have reached out and asked if I had gone to get checked out. And unfortunately, like I said, there's just nothing you can do no matter what you do to your tailbone. The only remedy is time and healing. And I did talk to my doctor and asked him about it. He said, yep, there's just nothing that you could do. So I'm still not sitting 100% right, and I do still have to use the donut, but it is getting better slowly. And I hope by the end of next month, for sure, I'll be back here again telling you that my tailbone is much better and I am back to normal. So there you go. It has been a jam-packed month full of finished projects, fun locations, fun friends. It's just been a great month, and I'm so thankful that I got to spend it with my friends. And yeah, it's been a great month. So I'm sure I'm forgetting something, though. Like I said, it's been such a busy month that I'm sure I'm forgetting something somewhere. But I just can't remember at this moment what that is. I try to make a list. That's why you usually see my phone in front of me, is because I usually have a list of things that I accomplished or worked on or did. And I tried to write all of them down, but I'm sure I forgot something along the way. But if I did, I'll try to throw it in next month's video. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Don't forget to check back in a month when I'll be recapping everything that I did in the month of December. I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to be a very productive month. I feel like it might be. It's going to be a busy one again. The holidays always are. Can't wait to tell you everything that I did in December, and we're going to be going into 2024, everyone. So, thank you guys for joining me today, and remember, normal is just a setting on the dryer. Bye!